For those of you watching today as a recording, remember, my name's Kristen. I'm a magnesium advocate. I am not a doctor. I am not diagnosing. I am not telling anyone what to do. I am talking about health and solutions and connections so that we can take our power back. When we take our power back, our body works better. We need power to energize ourselves. Magnesium is connected to voltage. And if our cells don't have voltage, then functions aren't happening like they're supposed to. So back when I had my crash after a failed surgery, they put cadaver graft in. It was bad. 3.5 years in a wheelchair, seizures, all of that. I needed to put the puzzle pieces back together. And that's when I fell in love and discovered magnesium from the Zextine C. Erica asked the best question on Monday's live. And Monday, we tend to go over the basics, you and I together, where we just focus on just the basics of soaking, how to soak, what to expect from your soak. And then Wednesdays, our time together on the magnesium moment is more detailed to a specific health topic. And last week at the end of the live, Erica asked the best question. And I actually want to read it. And remember, I'm not a doctor, not diagnosing. She said, will this help with my hemoglobin? Will soaking in magnesium help with hemoglobin? And her red blood cells are large, and she had pernicious anemia. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm sharing some connections that I've made, and then Erica is going to make the best decision for herself. She's not going to take it as medical advice. She's gathering information. You and I need to do that. We are the CEO of our own body, and we gather information from sources, and then we make the best decision through what our body needs. So anytime that I hear hemoglobin is an issue, two things come to my mind. One, magnesium is low. Two, liver needs more support. We know that when hemoglobin is an issue, and hemoglobin is incredibly important because it carries oxygen to the cells, right? Oxygenated cells are happy cells. And anytime that I hear that's the two things, that's where the magnesium morning trifecta comes in. When you start stacking functions, you get optimal benefits. And here are 3 functions that I would stack if I knew that my hemoglobin was an issue, if I had pernicious anemia, and if my red blood cells were too large, because magnesium helps to manage that. I would step into the magnesium morning trifecta, which is walking in the early morning sunshine and soaking in magnesium. Anytime that pernicious anemia or anemia is involved, pernicious from B12, we know that there's gut motility issues. There's issues in our gut. And getting out in the early morning sunshine helps to support all of those things we just talked about. Liver needs support, magnesium morning trifecta. Pernicious anemia, magnesium morning trifecta. Red blood cells and hemoglobin issue, magnesium morning trifecta. Autoimmune, magnesium morning trifecta, because you are getting the early morning sunshine, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing that supports health like the early sunshine in the morning. It signals things in your cell to happen that nothing else does. Think of our cell as a wave at the ocean, and it comes in and out. that early morning sunshine increases the motion of that wave, increases the communication, and they just continue to discover more things that early morning sunshine does for our cells. And all of those things, hemoglobin, pernicious anemia, gut issues, all of those are needing lower inflammation to heal. And early morning sunshine has been shown to reduce inflammation. Soaking in magnesium, getting the interstitial spaces loaded with magnesium has been shown to reduce inflammation. And we need to reduce that inflammation so that the body can start getting rid of the excess iron. When your hemoglobin count is high, your body's not getting rid of it. Now, there are so many different causes that can be causing that. And that's why it's so important. And healthy women filter all information through what their body needs, because underlying causes, liver, it could be cancer. I mean, there are so many different things. But we know that liver is always involved when hemoglobin levels are high, and we know low magnesium is always involved. That's where the magnesium morning trifecta. And when you take the early morning sunshine and you add walking, you're increasing the flexibility of the cell walls, because you're making sure that entrance and exit are happening more efficiently. And that's going to start boosting your body's natural ability to take iron and do what it needs to do with iron. Now, sometimes, and obviously, we need to be eating more green leafy vegetables. That is a beautiful way to clear out the high hemoglobin or high iron levels. And the other one is bean fiber. Bean fiber is power fiber. All fibers have benefit, and each bean fiber is a little bit different and structured a little bit differently. And finding the bean that's a good fit for you. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, Kristen, I can't eat beans." Well, have you tried all sorts of different kinds of beans? Because there are certain beans I do much better with, white beans being one of my favorites and really does well with my body, where some other beans cause me a little bit of digestion issues. And so playing around and focusing on, okay, my goal today is a quarter cup of beans, or maybe you're having to start with a tablespoon of beans, or maybe you need to just start with the magnesium morning trifecta and get that gut inflammation calmed down before you add the beans. But clearing out that stored iron is an incredibly important thing. And there is some blood work that you can look at. And the first piece of blood work that I think is most important is the magnesium red blood cell count. Magnesium red blood cell count, because that's going to show you the magnesium in the interstitial spaces. And that's my goal with magnesium, is to fill that interstitial space so that my body has enough magnesium to keep my hemoglobin, my iron, my gut, all of those things. It can pull from the interstitial space and boost liver function. And then that's when the magnesium morning trifecta comes in. You're soaking in magnesium, you're walking, and you're in the early morning sunshine. And the synergy of those three things is game changing. I've had women that have written in and said, "Kristen, I've been focused on my health for over 20 years. And adding the magnesium morning trifecta, I finally felt like I was making improvement." Now, ideally, it would be 30 to 60 minutes in the morning. Didn't happen for me this morning. I did get 10, and I was over the moon and felt so good. Making sure that we're okay with imperfect action, in my opinion, takes you from trying to get healthy to creating health. And I think so many of us, and I know I did too, I was trying to get healthy, trying to get healthy. And when I was okay with imperfect action, it shifted for me. And it is maintaining my health now. Okay. Magnesium morning trifecta. So you also do a magnesium soak in the morning. Here's the thing. This morning, I walked in the early morning sunshine. I won't do my magnesium soak until this evening. It's happening on the same day, though. It's imperfect, but that's how it works for me today. The most important thing of the magnesium morning trifecta that you can't get any other time of the day is that early morning sunshine. And so today I had to make a choice. I could have soaked, but then I would have missed the early morning sunshine. And so I opted to get a 10-minute walk in this morning, and I'll soak this evening when I could create some space and time for me to do that. Healthy women are creative women. Doing it this morning absolutely would have been the ideal. My life didn't work out that way, and I'm okay because I know, poster child right here, that imperfect action can help you create optimal health and make it work for you. There are some days I walk for an hour in the early morning sunshine, and then I come home and I soak in magnesium. Beautiful. There's not every day that works for me like that. And so I make it work for me as best I can. And I focus on the small wins. Oh, hello, Sonia. Hello. Oh, where can I find a variety of beans to experiment with? All the markets I have access to only carry 3 or 4 kinds. I would start there. I would start with those 3 or 4 kinds because, okay, let's say you spend a week and with each bean, getting to know it and building that relationship. So you've got a month's worth right there. If there's 4 kinds, you've got a month's worth of trying a tablespoon, a quarter of a cup, a half a cup. I do best at half a cup a day. Half a cup a day of beans. And my daughter made the best recipe yesterday. I'm really going to push her to get it written down. It was the most amazing lunch. She brought it home to me yesterday, and it was so yummy and had beans in it. So my goal is every day to get a half a cup. That's just a good amount for me. I can handle more, but half a cup is where I'm really seeing those benefits. And remember, bean fiber also connects with excess estrogens, heavy metal, and molds, and takes that out of the body. So bean fiber is an incredible food to be adding. Now, if you're having a problem digesting them, the best way to do that is to soak them, cook them yourselves. That's going to pre-soak them and then cook them. That's going to be the most digestible bean. If you're buying canned, I like the Jovial. It's in glass, but they're hard to find. I can't always get them. And I would buy a can of beans versus not eating them. It's my father-in-law used to always say good, better, best. And sometimes I choose good instead of best. I don't always soak my beans, cook my beans to eat them. And I can't always find the Jovial that's in a glass container. And there are many times I just rinse the beans from a can really, really, really well. Chew them slowly. Really get that digestion starting in your mouth if you're concerned about digestive issues. And beans might not be a good fit for you. If you're someone that has small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, beans aren't going to be a good fit for you. We've got to focus on healing the gut before you can get to that point of adding the beans in. If you're concerned about digestion, but have determined it's a good fit for you, taking that baby step and chewing them 20 times more than what you typically would has been shown to help decrease the digestion issues that some people experience from beans, because our mouth and the enzymes that kick in to start the digestion process can boost what's happening in your gut when the bean hits your tummy. So chewing them really, really well and starting slow, and going to, like, I would just start with those basic beans that you see in your store. And sometimes the dried beans will have different variations. Or if you have little locally owned ethnic shops, a lot of times they will have some really unique beans that you can try. Some people do really well on kidney, others do better on black, others do better on pinto. I know we get, and I stocked up before I left California. It's a bean that is grown there in the Central California region. I can't remember the name of it. And it's typically served with linguiça. Piquillo beans. Anyway, they're wonderful and so easy to digest for my body, but everyone's going to be different. But 4 types of beans, you've got a month's worth of eating some every day, determining what is a good amount for you. Like, I know half a cup, that's my goal every day, half a cup. And maybe for you, it's a 1/4 cup, or maybe you feel better at 3/4 cup. At half a cup, I can see the benefits in my body. And so really building that relationship so that you know what your goal is. Because if you just say, oh, my goal is half a cup, but it could be a 1/4 cup, and that's a lot easier to get in than half of a cup. Playing with it, taking some notes, putting it, I know I am, oh my goodness, let me show you. I'll bring it up on my phone. My very favorite, you can't see that because of the shine, but Google Keep. I love Google Keep. Can I just say that again? It's a free app. If you have a Google Gmail account, you have Google Keep. It's incredible. And I would just keep notes in my Google Keep about, I got up to a 1/4 cup today and I need to back it up a little bit because it was too much on my digestion. And then that way you can look back and start to see patterns. Now, is that a little bit of work? Yes. Is it worth it? In my opinion, it is, because I don't have to think about it now. I know, and I've built that relationship with my body, and that really helped me take my power back to become the CEO of my body. When I go, it used to be I would go to a doctor and I would hand my power over. I expected them to fix me. And as I took my power back, that's my responsibility, to put my body back in homeostasis where healing happens. That's my role. I'm going to the doctor to be on my board of directors, for me to listen to input. And it completely changed my relationship with doctors. And it also helped me weed out in the natural arena, whether I'm doing a functional medicine doctor or a Western doctor. It really helped me weed out who was a good fit to be on my board of directors. In fact, one time my husband made the comment and he said, Kristen, you need to take the approach where it's a privilege for those doctors to be on your board of directors, because you have standards and you're demanding and resolute in your standard. And I realized that I was just kind of going in like, oh, this is going wrong, put me back together. And now I go in And a lot of times I have studies, I have questions. And if I've got a doctor that's getting frustrated, the fact that I've got a study that I'm interested in and want to get his feedback on, he's not a good fit. He or she is not a good fit to be on my board of directors. And so I kind of took that approach, like, it's a privilege. It's a privilege for you to be on my board of directors because I have big dreams and huge ideas and lovely people that I want to connect with in my life. And you're on my board of directors. I have invited you to be on my board of directors. And that really helped me make that shift. And when you make that shift and you take your power back, you hold on to your magnesium more efficiently. Powerful women hold on to their magnesium more efficiently, therefore needing to soak less often. Now, I still do 30-day challenges because I want to saturate my cells and I want to make sure that that interstitial space is filled with magnesium. And here's one of the things that you need to know. It needs to be magnesium from the Zechstein inside C. And if it's not coming from Zechstein inside, it's coming from an ice melt factory in the Netherlands, or from Salt Lake City, or from Russia. And though none of those places, Salt Lake City, Russia, or the road magnesium, none of those meet the standard to move your magnesium levels in the interstitial spaces. In fact, I've started reaching out and asking companies, hey, where you say you're getting it from here, but you're not. Because people need to understand where their magnesium comes from determines if they're moving their magnesium levels in that interstitial space. And road salt magnesium is not going to do it. And if your magnesium liquid has been mixed with a flake that was intended to be used as road salt, it's not going to move your interstitial space. My promise to you is this will move your interstitial magnesium levels. It is pristine. There is no better magnesium than this. None whatsoever. This moves interstitial spaces. And as we take our power back, and as we recognize how powerful we truly are, and we start building that foundation, we build our voltage, we step into the magnesium morning trifecta, and we create it in a way that works with our schedules. I have a good friend who's in the office by 4 o'clock a.m., dark clock. She can't get out and do that, but she sure can on Saturday and Sunday. And she does it for a full, complete hour every Saturday and Sunday. Imperfect action is moving her needle forward on creating optimal health. I don't get out there 7 days a week and do that. Imperfect action. And then giving yourself grace, even though you know, yes, 7 days a week would be ideal doing that. Giving yourself grace and being kind to yourself when you take that information and then put it in your life imperfectly. And if you're not doing the grace with the magnesium, you're creating a gap and you're burning through that magnesium faster, meaning that you have to soak again. You have to soak again. You have to soak again. So let's take our power back. Be comfortable with the power. If you're already overwhelmed, it can add more overwhelm. Remember, overwhelm is not an emotion. It's a lack of action. Take action. If you're overwhelmed about your health, stop learning new things. Take action on what you've learned. Put it into play. In fact, I'd love to know our time together today. What's your action piece? What piece? Will it be adding some bean fiber and maybe making some notes in your Google Keep to determine if it's a good fit for you? to really boost your hemoglobin, your iron, your fiber, to make sure that you're recycling and letting go of old hormones, broken down hormones? Will it be soaking in magnesium? What's your action piece from today? Oh, at Ophelia, I absolutely love that. Adding the morning walks. That morning sunshine, and you've got 2 hours from when the sun comes up. And there are colors in the spectrum in that first 2 hours that you don't find any other time of the day. The spectrum changes 3 different times throughout the day. So you've got the morning spectrum, the afternoon spectrum, and the evening spectrum. That morning spectrum is powerful in the colors that it offers your body. And it think of the color of that spectrum awakening the colors in your cell. It's a beautiful connection there to happen in your body. Oh, Serena, stop. Oh, I can get stuck. I love, and I would never say stop researching forever. I love learning. I love the process of learning. It lights me up. Education is power. I do think that we can use it to stop moving forward, and it's a way that we stay in our head out of our body. And if you have created that disconnect like I did, staying in your head because you're not comfortable maybe with for me, some of the feelings and emotions I hadn't learned the skills to to keep connected, so I'd stay in my head and I'd be like, well, I've put 3 hours in today on my health, when in actuality I had researched for 3 hours and had taken absolutely no action. So I love that, getting very specific with what action you'll take. Oh, Lisa, Lisa, can we talk about Google Keep? I absolutely love it. So here's some of my favorite functions of Google Keep: the check boxes. So I can keep my note, but I can call it done. I can reverse the order. And the other thing that someone from team taught me is, when I'm working in Gmail, I can pull Google Keep up side by side in Gmail and stay on task with the different areas. And I also love that you can very much customize Google Keep and really make it look beautiful. I'm inspired by beautiful things and design that has symmetry. And I love that you can do little headers. My first ones I bought. Subsequently, I've designed my own, but you can absolutely customize the different areas. I even keep my gift lists in Google Keep. So for example, I have a gift list for people that I buy gifts for. And in conversation, if they say something, I'll pop it in their gift list. Like, oh, this person loves strawberry shortcake. And so I don't know, maybe I see a little strawberry shortcake something while I'm out thrifting, or there's a strawberry shortcake sticker. I can grab that and have that for that person, making gifts more meaningful. So I have a lot of Google Keep sections. It works for me because it's very visual and the little check boxes, but I can still see what was on the list and I can pull it up next to Gmail. And I think it's one, if you're someone who uses apps, I am someone who uses apps. If you're someone who uses apps, I think it's one of the most underrated apps that there is. Lori, if you wanted to do a detox bath for your Lyme, yes, do the magnesium after the detox bath. Do it is what I would do. I would do it after. And it's shown that, like, for example, I have an email going out about essential oils and magnesium, and keep them separate. Don't do them together. And in the email, it goes into a little bit more detail as to why, but absolutely keep those separate. Oh, Mary, you'll have to let me know. Oh, let me know if you like Google Keep. Let me know. That would actually be a fun one to do on our Magnesium Masterclass. I do a monthly free class, and we just dive a little bit deeper. We're on Zoom, so I get to see your beautiful face. And yes, you must come on by video or you're not in the class. We show up to create connection, and I don't connect to black boxes of women not on video. And we want to see each other, connect with each other, and recognize we're not alone on this journey. Want to take this little walk together. And I'd love to invite you to that masterclass. It might be really fun just to go over systems of Google Keep and utilizing. I don't know. Maybe that would be an interesting thing. A little bit different than anything I've ever done, but my Google Keep systems are incredibly powerful. Oh, you know what else? Okay, I need feedback on this because sometimes I think it's a great idea, but then it doesn't interest other people. And the Magnesium Master classes are really focused to individually help people so that we can just get in and really customize it to where you're at and what you're needing. Would it be interesting or helpful if I did in one of those Magnesium Master classes, Google Keep and using Chat GPT and how I connect the two things with recipes and just my life, because I use it a lot. I don't know. I think it would be fun for me to share. If that's something that would interest you, let me know in the comments, and that could be a class that I planned on. I'd have to put some prep into that to visually show you how I do it and have some resources set up. Like maybe a pre-video that we could watch together so you could see how I do it. But I think that would be a worthwhile class because my systems decrease my stress levels. And when my stress levels are lower, I'm holding on to my magnesium more efficiently. Oh, Serena, I'm with you, staying in my head, thinking. I'll even think that I've done it. Oh my gosh, in fact, right now, I am going to Venmo my daughter because I've thought about doing this so many times last night and I didn't feel so good. And so I didn't do it, but I thought about it so much. I thought I did it. So I right now, thank you, Serena, for helping me remember that. Venmoing my daughter for some things she picked up for me. Right there. I thought about it a lot last night, but I actually never did it. And sometimes in my newspaper in my head, I cross those two things. So taking action is what gets us healthy. Okay, let's quick. Oh, red light therapy. Absolutely, Lisa. Red light therapy is wonderful. Just remember, and in fact, Shelley, could you link the whole section that we created yesterday on different therapy and light devices, the lights that I use in my home, the lights that I use in front of my computer, the lights that I use in my gym. Yesterday Monday, I had a lot of people asking questions. And so I created a whole section on Amazon where you can see the ones that I've found that are tried and true for me. Oh, a smaller portion of the Zoom meeting, maybe a tip or two each time. Oh, good call. Good call on that. Oh, Linda, not another app now. Linda, I love that you said this, because let's say I do end up doing that, then I would hope you would make that decision. This class is not a good fit for me because she's going over an app. Or maybe a question, because I'll ask this of myself: are the apps that I'm using that are on my phone currently serving me? So yesterday I took an app off that was just stressing me out, and I found myself in constant overwhelm, and I took it off my phone because it wasn't serving me and putting me into overwhelm. And so I would hope if I ever did do a class that didn't meet your needs, you'd be like, pass, I'm not hanging out with that woman. She's focused on Google Keep for this class. Oh, Mary, connecting on the masterclass. So that only goes out to my Good Life journal, and you have to sign up for that. Now, the masterclass for March, I'm rescheduling because of our move, but typically they're the first Monday. But I think we're needing to change that to a better day for all of the people who help me, because it's not just me showing up on a class, there's massive support behind me. And Mondays is a harder day for everyone. So we are going to be changing that day. But Shelly will throw that link up and you can join that. And that's how you hear about those master classes and get the link to those master classes. The other thing is, remember, emails have changed. And if you don't interact with the emails, they won't land in your inbox. The algorithm of the emails that I don't have any control over will determine, oh, this person doesn't want this email, therefore we're not sending it. And so opening the email, clicking a link in the email, responding to the email will help to keep it front and center in your inbox. Yes, action is key. Faith, fitness, foodie, mom. I love that. Faith, fitness, foodie. App hygiene. Hygiene app is a plus. Ooh, I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, overwhelm is power, or education is power, but overwhelm is constant. Start taking peaceful, calming action. And then can I share something with you? I want to show you something. I'm going to stand up here. My camera is not, I've got it set so it won't follow me, but I'm going to stand up here for a second. So let's say that, like yesterday, the overwhelm had just kicked in. I'm going to put it down here a little bit so you can see this, and I'm going to back up. So let's say that overwhelm, I don't know, can you still hear me? Let's say that overwhelm had kicked in, and I remembered, overwhelm is not an emotion, it's a lack of action. And so I determined to stand up and take a few deep breaths. Then, to cement in that I had taken calm, peaceful action, I would do this. A little celebration cements in the action that you've taken. In fact, if there is one thing that I can help you and share with you about stepping away from the overwhelm and feeling better about yourself and moving forward more quickly, it's celebrating the action you're already taking. Celebrating. Just that little bit of movement. Little teeny bit of movement cements the celebration in your being. And that's what helps your body walk away. It's taking the action, remembering the action. And I know that I could look at each one of you right now and find 5 things to truly celebrate. You got out of bed today. Maybe you brushed your teeth today. Maybe hopped in the shower today. Maybe you packed up your car to move some things to your new house today. Did you celebrate any of those things? I think sometimes as women is what we can do is, but I didn't wake up early enough, or, I didn't pack organized as I wanted to, or, I didn't work out as long as I should have. And so we're constantly setting ourselves up to fail. And when our mind is doing that, our thoughts are a part of our magnesium burn rate. We burn through our magnesium quickly versus taking our power back, being comfortable with our power, and just a little bit of movement, making the music in my head. There's no music on. I did get my car packed. And I've got some really important things to me in that car to help my husband and I settle in our new home today. Yeah, it was good. And I helped my body remember that by celebration. If there's one thing, if you've ever felt frustrated or overwhelmed with your health, that I know from doing this for over 25 years with over 10,000 women now, if you feel like it's hard, if the journey has been too long, if you're not seeing the success that you want, if you feel overwhelmed, it's because there's a lack of celebration for what you have done. By doing that, you will keep the magnesium that you soaked in the interstitial spaces. It's about soaking in magnesium and holding on to that magnesium. There's also an amino acid that helps you hold on to that magnesium, and it's called taurine. If you feel like you're not getting the benefit from it, adding some taurine can help you hold on to it, but we want to do it slowly because too much taurine can tank thyroid function. Oh, you're so kind for the compliments on my outfit. This is one of my favorite thrifted jackets, and we talked Monday about natural fibers and the sheets that I sleep on, and I'm really moving toward natural fibers. And this one is from Quince, and it's a cashmere cotton blend, and I cannot even tell you how soft it is. It is so incredibly soft, but a little springy. I needed a little bit of lightness in my outfit today, but thank you. One of the ways that I'm creative is through thrifting and creating different outfits, and it's something I love to do as a little girl and am really embracing again as I at the point that I'm at right now. It's sometimes I can look at it and really judge myself like, oh, that's so frivolous, or don't be so worried about what you look like. For me, it's a creative process and it's fun. And so I'm really embracing that and watching my inner dialogue because it's something that brings me joy. Finding those things that bring you joy, that light you up, helps you hold on to magnesium. When you're soaking in magnesium and maintaining your magnesium levels, you're getting benefits to create voltage in your body. And that's where healing starts. It's been delightful being with you today. And I would love to have you join our magnesium masterclass. And we do have a date change coming up on that. We're going to be switching that. I'm not quite sure when that will be, but we will be having a date change. So for those of you who show up to that regularly, please know we've got some changes coming up to meet the schedules of all the people involved that help me to pull off that free monthly masterclass where we focus on magnesium and the journey and making sure that the steps and actions that we're taking, that our expectations are aligned, and that the action that we're taking is moving us forward on our journey of creating or maintaining health. Oh, Mary, so thank you. In fact, I need to be done. I should have been done 10 minutes ago so I could get to the title company on time. Mwah. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.